Good morning. My name's Kevin Hicks. I'm pastor of Conyers Presbyterian Church. It's Monday, November 30th. One of our members was in the church this morning and said that I should do my Monday morning message in front of the Christmas tree and make sure that it's not dry. Now, he meant my message, not the Christmas tree. I won't tell you who he is, but last name rhymes with blinging feel. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about the Christmas tree. I'm going to talk about these banners. Some of you are familiar with these banners because some of you helped make these banners. Each one represents a story from Scripture. Each one represents one of the Sundays of Advent. In the same way that we have 4 candles for each Sunday, we also have these 4 banners. And I want to talk about one each Monday morning for the next few Mondays. And so let's look at the first one. See if I can get it. There we go. Sorry, a little awkward here. Not used to having to move around. Okay. So this is the scripture. Each one has a scripture attached to it. Each one, they may be all from the prophet Isaiah, but at least 3 of them are. I'll have to check. You know, we tend to think of Christmas time is all about Jesus and baby Jesus and coming and all the stories of the manger and Mary and Joseph and all these beautiful stories of the incarnation of when Jesus came. But what we remember when we read these Old Testament lessons is that Jesus came as the Messiah, as this long-awaited and expected Messiah, as a fulfillment of all these scriptures and all the prophecy that had come before him. So it's more than just baby Jesus in the manger and God being with us. It's this intense fulfillment of Scripture. And so when we gather for worship during the Advent season, we gather with this kind of joyous anticipation of Christ coming, not just the celebration of Christmas, but Christ coming again in our lives and how that will look, how it will be established. Now, this one behind me, let's read Isaiah chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. It goes like this. This is what Isaiah, son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established as chief among the mountains. It will be raised above the hills, and all nations will stream to it. So this is where we get this mountain that's symbolized in our scripture. In our banner for the first Sunday of Advent. Many peoples will come and say, "Come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob. He will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths. The law will go out from Zion, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He will judge between the nations. He will settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Come, O house of Jacob, let us walk in the light of the Lord." You know, our Advent candles, what can symbolize different things, but one of the things that it always symbolizes is this coming light and being able to walk in the light of the Lord. So on our Advent candles, we light 1 the first Sunday, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then the Christ candle in the middle. In a sense, the closer we get to Christmas, the more light there is until we light that Christ candle. And so I love this invitation to walk in the light of the Lord. And that's what I want to invite you to do this week, this first Sunday. I know you just got through with Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed it. I know because of the pandemic, it was different than years past. I normally go to my cousins, and this time we just had my father over for a meal at our house, and Melinda knocked it out of the park as far as cooking our Thanksgiving meal. Now you may say, well, why didn't you do anything, Kevin? Well, I was renovating a bathroom, which was also her idea. So I did what I could. But it was a wonderful celebration. And I think that this Advent season, like Thanksgiving, is different, not able to gather the way that we hoped. And this brings a certain amount of, fatigue, even depression, concerns, worry, stress, all these things during this season about what we can do, what we can't do. Can we gather? Can we see our family? Are we not going to see our family? And so these passages from Isaiah remind us of the big picture, that not only did Jesus come as a baby in a manger, but he came as a fulfillment of all these things that are promised. And I love that it says, he will teach us his ways so that we may walk in his paths. And then ends with this, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Also includes that famous passage, they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, reminding us that God has a plan, and that when Christ comes again, which is part of what we celebrate at Christmas, then we're going to find this incredible peace that we seek. Until then, we get up each day and we devote ourselves to Jesus as followers of Jesus Christ. We allow the Old Testament to remind us who Jesus really was, the Messiah, and what that meant, and that the promised end of time is that we'll be up on this incredible mountain in New Jerusalem, and everything will be new again. So I hope you are enjoying your beginning of Advent. It's not quite December yet, but it is Advent season. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I know it's a challenge for many of you, but I encourage you to stay in the Scriptures during this period. Stay in this sense of joyous anticipation, not what presents you're going to get or give for that matter, but this joyous anticipation of Christ coming again in our lives. And really, each and every day, he enters our lives if we open our hearts and our minds. So, you have a wonderful week. This was Isaiah chapter 2, verses 1 through 5, if you want to look it up and read it again at home. Next week, we'll work our way down the banners and touch on the symbolism there and how it leads us to be thankful and grateful for what Christ has done for us. You have a wonderful week. God bless you.